Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back for another story and reading lesson. Did you notice who's behind me? It's our elf on the shelf. Guess she's sitting there ready to hear a story tonight. Do you have an elf on the shelf at your house? They're so fun, aren't they? Okay, so tonight's story is called Lily's Purple Plastic Purse, and it's written by Kevin Hinks. If you remember at the beginning of the school year, we read a book written by Kevin Hinks. Do you remember the name of that book? That's right, Chrysanthemum. If you'll notice, even his characters, his drawings look very similar. Chrysanthemum and Lily look very similar, don't they? Okay, let's get ready. Lily loved school. She loved the pointy pencils, she loved the squeaky chalk, and she loved the way her boots went clickety-clickety-click down the long, shiny hallways. Lily loved the privacy of her very own desk. She loved the fish sticks and the chocolate milk every Friday in the lunchroom. And most of all, she loved her teacher, Mr. Slinger. Right here, Lily says, "For you." She says, "Mine." She likes her desk. Here she says, "Straws make everything taste better." Isn't that cute? Mr. Slinger was as sharp as a tack. He wore artistic shirts. He wore glasses on a chain around his neck, and he wore a different colored tie for each day of the week. "Wow," said Lily. That was just about all she could say. Wow. Instead of "Greetings, students," or "Good morning, pupils," Mr. Slinger winked and said, "Howdy." He thought that desks in rows were old-fashioned and boring. Do you rodents think you can handle a semicircle? And he always provided the most tasty snacks. Things were curly and crunchy and cheesy. "I want to be a teacher when I grow up," said Lily. "Me too," said her friends, Chester and Wilson and Victor. At home, Lily pretended to be Mr. Slinger. "I am the teacher," she told her baby brother Julius. "Listen up." Lily even wanted her own set of deluxe picture encyclopedias. "What's with Lily?" asked her mother. "I thought she wanted to be a surgeon or an ambulance driver or a diva," said her father. "It must be because of her new teacher, Mr. Slinger," said her mother. "Wow," said her father. That was just about all he could say. Wow. Up here she says, "Teachers know everything." Whenever the students had free time, they were permitted to go to the light bulb lab in the back of the classroom. They expressed their ideas creatively through drawing and writing. Lily went often. She had a lot of ideas. She drew pictures of Mr. Slinger, and she wrote stories about him too. During sharing time, Lily showed her creations to the entire class. "Wow," said Mr. Slinger. That was just about all he could say. Wow. And at the very last second, Mr. Slinger saved the cold, starving, elderly, ... When Mr. Slinger had bus duty, Lily stood in line even though she didn't ride the bus. Lily raised her hand more than anyone else in the class, even if she didn't know the answer. And she volunteered to stay after school to clap erasers. "I want to be a teacher when I grow up," said Lily. "Excellent choice," said Mr. Slinger. One Monday morning, Lily came to school especially happy. She had gone shopping with her Grammy over the weekend. Lily had a new pair of movie star sunglasses, complete with glittery diamonds and a chain like Mr. Slinger's. She had 3 shiny quarters, and best of all, she had a brand new purple plastic purse that played a jaunty tune when it was opened. Lilly wanted to show everyone. "Not now," said Mr. Slinger. "Listen to our story." Lilly had a hard time listening. Lilly really wanted to show everyone. "Not now," said Mr. Slinger. "Let's be considerate of our classmates." Lilly had a hard time being considerate. Lilly really wanted to show everyone. "Not now," said Mr. Slinger. "Wait until recess or sharing time." But Lilly could not wait. The glasses were so glittery. The quarters were so shiny. And the purse played such nice music, not to mention how excellent it was for storing school supplies. "Look," Lilly whispered fiercely. "Look, everyone, look what I've got." Everyone looked, including Mr. Slinger. He was not amused. "I'll just keep your things at my desk until the end of the day," said Mr. Slinger. "They'll be safe there, and then you can take them home." Lily's stomach lurched. She felt like crying. Her glasses were gone. Her quarters were gone. Her purple plastic purse was gone. Lilly longed for her purse all morning. She was even too sad to eat the snack Mr. Slinger served before recess. That afternoon, Lilly went to the light bulb lab. She was still very sad. She thought and she thought and she thought, and then she became angry. She thought and she thought and she thought some more, and then she became furious. She thought and she thought and she thought a bit longer, and then she drew a picture of Mr. Slinger. Uh-oh, look at this picture. It says, "Big, fat, mean Mr. Stealing Teacher. Bad. Claus, thief, bad. Wanted by the FBI. I do not want to be a teacher when I grow up." Uh-oh. Right before the last bell rang, Lilly sneaked the drawing into Mr. Slinger's book bag. Oh no, he's going to see it. When all of the students were buttoned and zipped and snapped and tied and ready to go home, Mr. Slinger strolled over to Lilly and gave her purple plastic purse back. "It's a beautiful purse," said Mr. Slinger. "Your quarters are nice and jingly, and those glasses are absolutely fabulous. You may bring them back to school as long as you don't disturb the rest of the class." "I do not want to be a teacher when I grow up," Lilly said as she marched out of the classroom. On the way home, Lilly opened her purse. Her glasses and quarters were inside, and so was a note from Mr. Slinger. It said, "Today was a difficult day. Tomorrow will be better." There was also a small bag of tasty snacks at the bottom of the purse. Lily's stomach lurched. She felt like crying. She felt simply awful. Lilly ran all the way home and told her mother and father everything. Instead of watching her favorite cartoons, Lilly decided to sit in the uncooperative chair. "I'll stay here a million years for Mr. Slinger. Why does everything always happen to me? 1051, 1052, 1099. That night, Lilly drew a picture of Mr. Slinger and wrote a story about him, too. Lilly was really sorry, so everyone forgave her, even her parents, even her stinky baby brother, even her especially incredible teacher. And then the sun shined its smiley face down on everyone and everything, even the bugs and the worms. The end. This says, "Listen up. I forgive everyone. I'm really sorry. Worms, bugs, oops. Kind, nice, good, could be a principal. I'm an author, she says. Lily's mother wrote a note, and Lily's father baked some tasty snacks for Lily to take to school the next day. I think Mr. Slinger will understand, said Lily's mother. I know he will, said Lily's father. How could he resist my no-frills cheese balls? The next morning, Lily got to school early. These are for you, Lily said to Mr. Slinger, because I'm really sorry. Mr. Slinger read the story, and he looked at the picture. And he read the note. What does it say? And he sampled the snacks. Yum, yum. Wow, said Mr. Slinger. That was just about all he could say. Wow. What do you think we should do with this? Asked Mr. Slinger. Could we just throw it away? Asked Lily. Excellent idea, said Mr. Slinger. That was the mean note from the day before. During sharing time, Lily demonstrated the many uses and unique qualities of her purple plastic purse, her shiny quarters, and her glittery movie star sunglasses. I like having an extra pocket with a radio inside. 3/4 are even better than a dollar bill because they make noise. Glamorous protection from harmful rays. Then she did a little performance using them as props. It's called interpretive dance, said Lily. Mr. Slinger joined in. Wow, said the entire class. That was just about all they could say. Wow. Throughout the rest of the day, Lily's purse and quarters and sunglasses were tucked safely inside her desk. She peeked at them often, but she did not disturb a soul. Right before the last bell rang, Mr. Slinger served Lily snacks to everyone's delight. What do you want to be when you grow up? Asked Mr. Slinger. A teacher, everyone responded. Lily's response was the loudest. Excellent choice, said Mr. Slinger. Everybody likes the snack. As the pupils filed out of the classroom, Lily held her purple plastic purse close to her heart. Mr. Slinger was right. It had been a better day. Lily ran and skipped and hopped and flew all the way home. She was so happy. And she really did want to be a teacher when she grew up. That is, when she didn't want to be a dancer or a surgeon or an ambulance driver or a diva or a pilot or a hairdresser or a scuba diver. Look at all this. Ready for takeoff. Hold still, the doctor's here. Accident, woo woo. And that is the end of our story. I hope you enjoyed Lily's purple plastic purse. And so we're going to do a little activity with sequence of events. That's what we've been learning this week. So I want you to be thinking about what happened in the beginning, what happened in the middle, and what happened in the end. Think about what happened first, next, then, and finally or last. Okay, and we will put some of those events in order in the next video. Okay, so after you finish watching this, you can click on the next video to sequence events from the story. Also, I'm going to include a little drawing paper that you can complete in Seesaw. It has the start of the picture of Lily or Chrysanthemum, because remember they look a lot alike, don't they? Because his artwork looks a lot alike, these characters. So it says to create a new character for Kevin Hinks. So you get to finish off the outfit and the clothes and tell who that character could be. Really fun assignment if you choose to do it. And just be creative with your new character that would star in a book by Kevin Hinks. Maybe We could send them off to him and see if he likes any of your ideas. All right. Thank you, boys and girls. See you soon.